We have one more really fun activity to complete in this compute module, and that is on AWS Lambda. You can see from the docs that AWS Lambda lets you run your code without having to configure EC2 servers and other services on the back end. So you just write the code you want, have it triggered somehow, and then you'll just pay for the resources that are used to run your code. And again, this is in our Mount Sac Canvas course, which is where you'll submit your screenshots and notes. Let's go over to the AWS Academy, open up the AWS Lambda activity, which I've done here on this tab, and go ahead and click Start Lab. I did this a few minutes before recording because it takes a while to get loaded. Click on the AWS when it's green and it will open up the console for you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to search to the right of the services box for Lambda. Go ahead and get started here. Lambda. Here we go. Run code without thinking about servers. All right, that sounds good. And let's go ahead and it says get started, create a function right there. Let's just do it. Create a function. Let's see, in the create function screen, choose author from scratch. That's already selected. The function name is going to be myStopinator. Well, that sounds exciting. myStopinator. Okay. We'll choose Python 3.11. It looks like we could run a variety of servers on the back end. Node.js, Ruby, Amazon Linux, Java. In this case, it's asking me for a couple versions back of Python. When you see something very specific like this, just try and find that, because it's more likely that the lab will work exactly the way that you would like it to. Now we're going to choose the change default execution role. So we're going to scroll down till we see that. Here we go, change default execution role, and we will use an existing role. So create a new role. Nope, use an existing role. And the existing role we'll choose is myStopinator role. So it looks like the lab has prepared an IAM role for us that will allow us to access all the resources that this script is going to access. All right, that's cool. So let's go ahead and create the function. And once it creates the function, since we're going to go on to task 2, this will be a good time to grab your screenshot for the homework. I've got my screenshot. I'll submit that later along with all the other screenshots that we make. So task 2, we're going to have to configure the trigger. So let's go over here and we'll add the trigger. And we're going to select Event Bridge. So we'll go through here, select a trigger, and select Event Bridge. I could just start typing, see what shows up. CloudWatch Events, there we go. And we're going to create a new rule. There's a new rule right there. And the rule is going to be called every minute. I guess we could take a guess at what that's going to mean. Let's see, rate. We could have a rule description, run every minute. That's not over here, but it's going to let us know. So the rule type is going to be a schedule expression, and the schedule expression is going to be rate 1 minute. All right, that sounds good. Looks good. Now the note over here says this is not very realistic, but let's make it work. You'll find that Lambda functions give you a lot of flexibility to just have services in the world that can be triggered by various things that you might be doing with web services, or let's say you're trying to connect one service to another. You might use Lambda to do something like that. There's all kinds of functions here. So let's add that, and that's task 2. Looks like this might not take us 30 minutes. Let's see. So there's our task 2 screenshot. Let's see what we can do next. Let's configure the function. We need the code, right? We need the code. So we're just going to copy and paste that code. You might use ChatGPT to help you write the code, or Amazon Q. If you're not an Amazon Q user, but you're using AWS, I suggest you get started using Amazon Q. It's pretty good, especially when you're using Amazon services. So below the function pane, choose code. So below the function pane, I'll choose code down here. It gives me code source, and it gives me a VS Code embedded editor right here. You should get used to this style because VS Code is just embedded all over the place these days. So we're going to, we're going to delete this code. All right, that code's gone. And here it says copy and paste this code. I guess we should take a look at it. Oh, it says review line 5. If a period was added, delete it. Okay, line 5. No, there's no period there. I wonder what caused that problem. So let's see. We're going to import bottle 3. This is the Amazon AWS library. It looks like we have to replace this with our region and our instance ID. Okay, and then we're going to launch an EC2 instance in the region, and then we're going to stop instances. Okay. So our region that we're going to do is going to be US East 1. So let's replace that here. US East 1. Okay, good. Keep the single quotation marks. Yep, because that's a string. We're assigning a string value to a variable in Python. Okay. Now we're going to need verify that an EC2 instance named instance1 is running in your account, and copy the instance1 ID. So how are we going to figure that out without us giving instructions? It says right here, you should figure that out without getting detailed steps unless you click on the little triangle. So what we should do is just open up in another browser tab. I guess I could do it this way. No, we'll just go over there from here. No, we'll just go to console.aws.amazon.com, and we'll just go in the manual way since I can't open up any of the links. And we'll come over here to EC2. It looks like I am in US East 2 instead of US East 1. That could make a difference. Oh, there's 2 instances. Instance 1 right there. I'm going to need this instance ID. That's what I need to put in over in my Stopinator. And I probably don't need that space over there. That might cause some problems. All right, so we're back in the Lambda console. We replace the ID with our instance ID. We have our quotation marks because we're going to add the string value into the array of instances here. Okay, so ours looks like that picture. That's pretty good. And then we're going to choose the file menu and save changes. The file menu and save changes. Well, we don't have Visual Studio Code open on our local computer, but maybe we can choose the file menu from here, and then, oh, it looks like it's auto saving. Then in the code box, choose deploy. So let's just, it looks like it's saved already, so let's go ahead and deploy and see what happens. It said it's updating and it's successful. So now let's choose monitor near the top of the page. We'll go back up and the tab near the top of the page. Oh, the tab near the top of the page. When we're down here, all right, see, the console is very rich in data. So it's kind of easy to just overlook something like that. There's our monitor tab here. Also, your browser might be larger than mine. You might see all of this at once without scrolling. That's okay. So note that one of the charts shows you how many times your function has been invoked. Let's take a look. There's a lot of charts here. This would be really good for you to open up on your big monitor. And looks like we're done with this task. Let's go ahead and grab a screenshot to submit. All right, that looks good. Let's go to task 4. Now we need to verify that the Lambda function works. So let's go back to our EC2 console. I'll head over here. Let's refresh that. Oh, well, wait a second. Our EC2 instance is stopped. Let's see. Try starting the instance again. Okay, what's going to happen? So we'll come over here. Now, do you remember how to start an instance from a couple of videos ago? Let's go over and see what we can do. We'll start the instance. It's initiated starting. It's pending. We're in US East 1C availability zone. It's running. We can see that information here, the instance ID, public IP address. We can go see what it is if you want. But then within a minute, because remember we have this running every minute, within a minute, this might begin to stop. And there it is right there, stopping. Oh, interesting. So I would say grab a screenshot of this end of this task right here to upload. Go through and click on the disclosure triangle. There it is. Make sure you're right and turn it in. Thanks.